Hi. I hope you guys are all having a magnificent day. Today has just been so magical. You know, one thing I think during the beginning of this whole awakening process, I wasn't really paying attention to was the fact that this stuff just keeps getting better and better and better. You always think that there's kind of going to be this ceiling of connection and communication, and you think that you know where this is leading, right? Nah, source will get you every time. I'm speaking from experience. um yeah, this has just been a really cool, I know I mentioned it in the video that I posted yesterday, but this has just been a really, really cool time. So a couple of things that I wanted to bring up before I get into the energy update. First, I want to say thank you to every single person that is showing up and subscribing and commenting and emailing. Your information and knowledge and love has been one of the greatest experiences I'm receiving out of this. I'm learning so much through your experiences, and there's so much validation going on back and forth. You can really begin to feel how co-creative this really is. When I first started this YouTube channel, I just thought I would share my experiences. I never really thought there were this many people out there that were searching for new perspectives and new information. So, going from like 30 subscribers to over 1,100 now has just been a whirlwind of experience and gratitude and appreciation for being able to be a part of this journey with everybody. So I just got to put that out there because I'm feeling all mushy today. I really appreciate it. I love that we're all able to come together in this way. Yeah, it's been really cool. So hi everybody. Thank you for subscribing. I love you all. I love your comments, your pieces of knowledge, and your pieces of clarity that you're sharing with all of us, because you're either helping me or you're helping somebody else here, and that's amazing, and that's what we're actually here for. So it's all perfect, isn't it? It's all perfect. So I wanted to do this energy update today because the energies are just insane. And I also want to share some of my experiences that I've been going through, because I know everybody's going through a lot of stuff, and I know it's all very new, and these aren't things that we've ever gone through before. So I think it's really important to keep talking about it and keep validating for each other that we're not alone. We're not losing it, okay? I don't care what anybody says. You're fine. Sorry, you guys, I am crazy today. I'm not even gonna lie. I've never felt this happy and this full. I feel like I'm walking in like this bubble of bliss, and there's some reasons why, and I'm gonna get into that, and they're all energetic, and we're all experiencing it right now. All of these energies, all of these ascension energies that have been coming in are kind of reaching this crescendo, and we're experiencing it. So really, really cool stuff. So let's get to the list. Okay, so somebody had mentioned on my post that I just put up yesterday about the crystals that they had wished that I had kind of put up visuals or pictures or held up the crystal that I was speaking about, so that other people could kind of see what was going on. And I didn't even think about that, and it is so true. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. What I'm going to do tonight when I get home is I'm going to go ahead and put up some photos of the crystals that I talk about and that I use, so that you can have a little bit of a visual. So if you are one of those people that was interested in what we were talking about with the crystals and using them for meditation and these other facets, go ahead and check my Instagram later on tonight, and I'll definitely put those up. And thank you to those who are kind of coming out and talking about the things that you're needing too when it comes to the information that I'm putting out. Because this whole thing is very new to me. I've never made videos before. I've never put myself out there like this. So this is all a learning experience for me too. While I'm helping guide people through the ascension process and I'm offering up my channelings and the information that I'm giving, there's still a big learning curve for me on this end. So I just want you guys all to know that I appreciate y'all so much. So I'm going to get those crystals up on the Instagram later tonight when I get home. Okay? And so let's get into this energy update. I know we talked about how the weekend of Mother's Day was really intense. There was a lot of shifts coming in. The Ascension Energies were extremely high. And I know in one of those videos I discussed how there are two different energies that we're kind of playing with right now, that are affecting our external environment. And also the internal shifts. One of them is the vibration of humanity alongside the vibration of Earth. And then the other one is the vibration of these galactic waves, these ascension waves that are coming in to help guide us through this process too. So what we experienced on Mother's Day was a lower level of energy between humanity and Gaia, right? But we had this wave of ascension energy come in. And that's where we saw a lot of this shift in communication. That's what that wave had come in for. It was opening us up to allow you to articulate yourself better, but also to interpret other people's information easier. So when you're listening to people talk, you're going to start to hear them a lot differently. You're going to be opening up to like these newer perspectives. And then you're also going to be able to get in communication from the higher self or your galactic guides or whoever's trying to communicate with you. You're going to easily be able to communicate more through this telepathic nature. The difference between that wave and this wave is, first of all, intensity. And the wave, you would have felt it pick up last night. You would have felt the energy start. If you're sensitive to feeling these energetic waves come in like I am, you would have started to feel the energy amp up last night. Definitely continuing to grow through today, tomorrow, and the next morning. So, yeah, through Thursday morning. The energy that's coming in right now, though, is going to impact you a little bit differently. It's going to impact all of us a little bit differently. And this is why we're seeing high levels of Gaia energy and humanity's energy. So the consciousness is really raising with the bulk of humanity on the planet right now, as well as all of this continued energy being dispersed from the earth. And then at the same time, we are all receiving these galactic energies that are coming in and penetrating us and ascending us and assisting in the modification of the DNA further. So we're actually getting this particular energy from both the earth and the ascension waves. Now, what's interesting about this is, in my experience, this has not happened yet. We've been kind of on these waves where you'll see the cosmic energies going up, but while the cosmic energies are going up, you'll see kind of a dip or a lull in the earthly energies and humanity's energy. But what we're seeing right now is both of these energies are merging and rising together. So you're seeing a heightening in both the earth and humanity, and you're also seeing a heightening in these cosmic energies that are coming in. Which I believe is going to lead us into a very massive shift. So, one thing that's really cool that's been coming along with this energy is the synchronicities. And I said in the video that I posted yesterday about the crystals that I've been kind of in a whirlwind this last week. A lot of things have started to transpire. Which has been really, really exciting. And I'm just kind of basking in it and really enjoying it. And it's just been a really joyful time last week. But I didn't realize to like what extent. I didn't realize how much these synchronicities were actually carrying energy that was penetrating into my life the way that it is. So... first, before I move on to that experience with the synchronicities, I just want to touch base. So the 21st through the 23rd, we're receiving another ascension wave, and this is the biggest ascension wave that we've received yet. And this wave of ascension is also being matched with this heightening energy of Gaia and humanity. So your proofs of ascension within the body might be inflamed over the next couple of days if you are still clearing out some things, which is totally fine. You know what to do. You have tools. So drink your water, move your body, meditate, get out in nature, use some crystals while you're meditating, some healing crystals if you have them, and just really try and take care of yourself. And you know what that means for you. There's a lot of tools on the internet to help us with these proofs of ascension. I've put out a lot of videos on how to manage this energy and really keep your vibration in a high level so that you can receive it differently. The one thing I think we forget a lot of times is that you don't have to be in pain through the ascension. At times it can get uncomfortable, but the more and more you do the work to clear out what's necessary to be cleared out, and you continue to work on heightening your vibration and finding thoughts that are pure in intention and in frequency, finding yourself getting closer and closer to that love frequency. And really sharing that with the people around you and kind of giving it to your life where needed. That's when you're going to really see these shifts in these energies, and you're going to see yourself and feel yourself being propelled instead of having all of these aches and pains and stomach upset and nausea. It is totally a part of the process, so don't blow it off like you shouldn't be there, because it is what it is. It's exactly where you need to be at this time. But just know that the more you continue to work at this and raise your vibration, the more light you're going to be able to hold. So it's not going to feel so rough around the edges. It's not going to make you feel so vulnerable and raw at times. So just hang in there and keep doing what you know to do. Okay? There is light at the end of this tunnel. Pun intended. Okay. So this wave that's coming in right now, though, I get so excited when I think about it because I'm feeling it today and it's big. So I'm really excited to see what transpires over the next couple of days because I really feel like it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be bigger than any of us are anticipating by far. So this massive shift that we're going through over the next 3 days with these dual waves of energy, it's really going to push you into the next level of your consciousness. It's going to bring you to the next level of your ascension. I don't know what that means for you. I only know what that means for me. So wherever you're at, just know that you're really going to be brought into like this next level of energy, awareness, synchronicity, communication, these new levels of body senses that we're starting to acclimate to. Things are really going to start changing in big ways. So just know that. One of the pieces that has been really cool for me over this experience is that my channeling is shifting, which this isn't the first time that's happened. I've shifted through. Auxiliar is my third guide that I've been channeling in information from. That's been kind of leading me down this ascension path. But I am currently moving away from channeling Auxiliar, and I'm moving into channeling a Pleiadian collective that has stepped forward and really started to make its presence known to me. And I had previously, I had thought that in the ways of contacting your guides or beings, you just have to continue to raise your vibration. I didn't put too much thought into the clearing of belief systems or blockages. And I have realized over this past week that this is a huge part of it. So Auxil has always presented himself to me as a 13th dimensional being. He's my future self. Years in this 3D world where time is linear, years and years and years and years from now. But he is my 13th dimensional self who has come back to guide and aid me through the ascension process because of the realization of how many people have awakened and how many people could use a little bit of assistance getting through this period of Earth's history. So that's our work together, and that's been our work together, and it's been beautiful. He's been guiding me along this past year almost, and really helping me understand what's going on in a very deep level, and I'm able to share that information. So I have so much appreciation for him. And at the same time, I have so much excitement for what's to come. But one thing that I find so interesting is that I haven't been able to make contact with this collective the way that I hear and communicate with Auxil, because I just talk to them. I just call it a him. And this is exactly what had happened previously. So previously, when I first started channeling, I was channeling in Arctura. And Arctura is my divine feminine, but she resides in a fifth, sixth dimensional reality. And she really opened me up to the changes that were going on within my body and identifying the symptomatic proofs, as Auxil likes to call them, of the ascension process, and how to kind of navigate your way through it, and explaining it to me in a way that I could actually understand it. And then I moved on into channeling Auxiliar, and Auxiliar helped me assimilate to the codes that I was seeing and understanding the need for patience at that time, because I wanted answers and I wanted to know what they were. And he kept telling me that my next guide is going to explain the codes and the light language and the channeling a little bit more in depth. But that's just, it's not time. He was like, just be patient. You don't need translation. What you need right now is practice bringing in this energy. So they weren't allowing me to translate any of the codes or the light language I was given. And when I started to ask why, they said, well, because Auxil is 13th dimensional being, you have to raise your frequency so that he can meet you. Because right now, even with all of the meditation and all of the contact I was making, I just wasn't at a level to really meet Auxil so that we can communicate. And so he communicated with me through light code for the longest time. And the day that I began to actually hear him and channel him in, he was like, you know, you're ready. You have risen the vibration. You've met me where I need you to meet me so that we can communicate. And I got that. I understood that. because I was working my way up through these dimensions of contact, and that made sense to me. So when I was told just a few days ago, well, almost a week ago now, that I was going to be channeling in this new collective, but that I couldn't talk to them, but then they're Pleiadian, and I'm like, what? Pleiadians are 9th dimensional being. I can communicate with the 13th dimensional being. Surely I can communicate with the Pleiadians. And what Auxiliar said is, he said, it's not just about raising your vibration, it's that you have to meet somebody on their frequency if you really want to communicate with them. And right now, because we're all on these differing frequencies, you really do have to tune yourself. And the Pleiadians are tuned very purely to a frequency of love. And Auxiliar told me at that time that I had kind of a little bit of a barrier around my heart still, that my ego was using for protection so that I wouldn't get hurt, or, I wouldn't feel disappointment, and it all stemmed from past situations of guilt and pain and all of this. And he said, don't worry, you're going to clear this out in about a week. Well, about a week later, I had set up a hypnosis session with a new dear friend of mine. And we had talked about the possibility of doing this sometime, and I had never put two and two together. But then as the energy started to increase and we continued talking about what we were feeling and going through, she said, well, why don't we do it tomorrow? Because tomorrow will work. And again, I didn't know at the time, but that was exactly 1 week from the day that Auxiliar told me, wait a week, as far as clearing out what I needed to clear so that I could start communicating with these Pleiadian collective, the Pleiadian collective that's coming in for me to channel. So this is a really cool story. I know it's kind of long, but there is a point here, and it does have to do with these new ascension waves. It'll all tie in, I promise. So with the hypnosis session, I was taken back to a time when I was some sort of a queen in the days of Atlantis. And I was a very spiritual being. And there were some people that wanted to take my power from me, and they did that, and it ended in my demise. And in the moments of experiencing that death, my soul at that time was extremely concerned about these non-spiritual beings that were trying to take my power, and how they would treat my people and how they would let my people down. And I carried a lot of pain connecting those two things together. So we cleared that. We got that out of there. And I felt all day Sunday, I was texting her and I was like, I feel so free. Like, I cannot even tell you, I feel so free and alive, and it was just wonderful. And then I slept the rest of the day, and that's not a joke. I slept the rest of the day, and then yesterday I was processing a lot of that information. It was feeling a little heavy at times and emotional. I felt very vulnerable and very raw with relieving, getting rid of that energy. And so when I get into those situations where I'm feeling off, and whether I know what it is or I don't, I go straight into communication with Auxiliar. And I started talking to him about the way I was feeling, and he reminded me of my ego death that I had gone through about a month ago. And when I went through my ego death, and that whole process left me feeling very raw and vulnerable too. So what he had said in that moment, and is also exactly what he had said now, is fill yourself back up. You know who you are. You don't need that energy. And it made me realize that when we lose these parts of us that we allow ourselves to be defined by, whether they're positive or negative, it leaves a little bit of a hole in who you are. And instead of feeling the emptiness, you take that and you use your creator energy to create and flourish in whichever ways you see fit for yourself that you're becoming. And that's exactly what I started to do. And this is where the synchronicity ties back in. So I pulled up YouTube to put on a couple of videos, and Aluna, I think her name is Aluna 9D Ash. I believe that's correct. I'm going to put the link to this video on her channel in the description so you guys can go listen to it. She's amazing. But in one of her videos, she's talking about subliminal programming. And she makes this point and says, you know, what she says is that she listens to like subliminal recordings and affirmations as she's falling asleep and waking up. And she uses these things throughout the day to really fill herself with positive thoughts so that she's programming into her mind the way to think and feel and imagine and all of these things, right? So it hits me in that moment, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what's going on. Here I am in this very raw and vulnerable space because I'm losing this piece of myself that I identified with, this pain that I've carried and identified with. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of in my unknowingness scrambling for answers of how to fill this void. And it hit me in that moment. These are the spaces where you get to decide who you become. Oh, it was so beautiful. So I decided from that point forward that I would start to program myself for thoughts of love and empowerment and, beauty and co-creation and this fifth dimensional image of life that I want to see. So that was really neat. And after this clearing and going through all of this processing, it's been a really, really cool transition to see how everything's tying in together. Auxiliar's giving me all of this information that's tying me right back into the here and now. And I'm sure some of you guys are experiencing this too. It's like all of the sudden my life makes sense. It's like everything I've ever gone through, every testimony to my faith, I mean, everything that I've had to go through in my life to choose to be new, to choose to be this new woman, choose to be the warrior of the light, the spiritual gangster, right? Choosing to be that person. And look at what I've created. I've created who I am here now. And as these waves of ascension keep coming in, these things just become more and more noticeable and prevalent in our day-to-day lives. So it leads me to be in this space of really what's next, If this is all true, if we're in this new space where we can program ourselves, we don't have to be programmed by society. We don't have to be programmed by religions. We don't have to be programmed by the government or your parents or your friends or whatever. Like, you get to choose in every moment who you are now. And I know I've been talking about this forever, but it just is all of a sudden really lining up with this information that we're being given. So we're on the edge of some pretty darn cool times. I think these next 3 days are going to change everything. I really do. I believe that wholeheartedly. So as these energies are moving in, there's a couple of things I also wanted to express that I've been experiencing. So I've started seeing some of these rainbows in the sky that I wasn't seeing before. And And I know other people have seen them. I just haven't experienced it. So I'm seeing a lot of that all of a sudden. Yesterday there was like this rainbow halo around the sun, and it was just the coolest thing. And then there were like these blocks of rainbows that were just chilling in the clouds. It was really cool. And then the other thing I've noticed is that light is shifting. Like the way light penetrates through things right now is shifting. My friend that did the hypnosis on me, she's been walking in the woods and finding like through the trees this lavender light that just lays on the ground in front of her. Something that hasn't been experienced before. And today I was outside and I'm writing, and my hands are glowing like a white light. And that's never happened before. So these energies are getting really intense, and tonight I definitely won't be sleeping. I know that. But tonight and tomorrow morning is probably going to be the most intense, and then it's going to continue to peak and grow. But you're definitely going to start to feel it. So the main part of me really wanting to make the video and give you guys some of the things that I've been going through and experiencing, which have been really cool. I just see the bigger purpose in all of it. And I want you guys to have faith and have hope, because I know we're all at times wishing for, just a little bit of peace. I know these ascension proofs can really start to take a toll on your body. I know that feeling. So try to make peace with it, because like I said, we're approaching the light at the end of the tunnel. You have tools, so make sure you're using them. And if you need more assistance, search it out. Find ways to get yourself the help that you need. The energies are, like I said, they're going to continue to heighten. There's no going back. It's not like it's going to heighten and then you're going to get this relief. It's going to heighten, and you have to find a way to adjust, because it's going to heighten again some more really soon. There's not going to be this moment of ease anymore. These waves are coming in almost like contractions. They're getting closer and closer and closer together, and they're getting more and more and more intense. I do believe that we are coming to a tipping point. I do believe that we are at that tipping point, and we are on the verge of birthing this new world. Where we do have more love, and we do have more peace, and we do have more connectedness, more unity in our world. So I'm like on the edge of my seat, because I can feel it and I sense it, and I know we're there. So keep using your tools, whatever it takes. The energy is going to keep growing. So like I said, we're hitting this tipping point. So breathe it in. Just keep breathing it in. Be outside. Kind of let the sun rays come in and penetrate into your skin, and soak it up as much as you can. Try and find moments of peace where you can just take some deep breaths and allow it to just kind of be. And just work at continuing to hold the light. The more you hold the light, the more you're a match to the light, which makes all of this transitionary time, it's going to make it all unfold a lot more smooth for everybody. So I hope you guys are doing good, and have fun with this. Have fun with this. You're not going to experience a lot of things like this. This is truly a time to remember. So, oh yeah, and that's another cool thing. So my soul, my higher self, has been slowing down time this morning so that I can experience a part of life that's about to go down in like history books, if there are history books in 5D. Who knows, right? But we're on this, we're just on the precipice of a really, really large change, and they're making me very aware of the moments leading up to it, leading up to this big crescendo. So It's just really cool, you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for encouraging and sharing all of your information. I love seeing you guys love each other. If anybody comes on and comments on here, they're feeling down or they're feeling off, it's like before I can even get to that comment, there's 6 other people that's there going, you got this, you know, and it just makes me so proud. I like sit back like a proud mama. I love the times that we're in. I really do. So I'm sending you all love and light, and use your tools and meditate and keep yourself in your high vibe. And we will be touching base over the next couple of days as this all transpires. There's a lot going on. So I want to say get excited, but instead I'm going to say be excited. Yeah. Good things, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day today. Get outside, breathe in some of this nature, soak it in, take a nap if you need it, drink your water, okay? I love you all. Happy Tuesday.